Good morning, and welcome to your daily Farm and Home Show, brought to you by the University of Kentucky Cooperative Extension Service. And now, here's your host. Good morning, and welcome to your Farm and Home Show. This morning, we're visiting with Kristin Hildabrand all week this week, so stay tuned. And she's going to talk about home fruits and getting started with that. And Kristin, you have all kinds of information about that.
Oh yeah, you know, everybody's ready for spring, and I am too. I'm definitely, ready to not have any more rain. But people are getting antsy, they're ready to get outside. Maybe they've thought of some things for their New Year's resolutions, and they have thought maybe about, planting their own home fruits. And, people get really excited, and it is a rewarding experience to be able to go outdoors in your backyard, be able to harvest that fruit, whether it be small fruits or even some tree fruits. But there's a couple things you want to consider before you dive on into that realm. And the first thing that we would want to educate you guys about is that, these crops are perennial crops. So, with annuals, if we talk about vegetables and herbs and things like that, they only survive one growing season. But with home fruits, they are going to be there for a long time, depending on what crop that you are growing. And so you want to make sure that you take particularly some time, look at your site, make sure you do a soil test, and then also make sure that you know the crop very well before you really get into it, because there's a lot of things to consider with any type of these fruits. Time, it seems like that's, we don't have enough time to do a lot of things, but time as far as being able to care for the crops and the fruits. So really, there's a lot of tender loving care that goes into the production of a lot of fruits.
And like you mentioned, that these are fruits for years to come. So getting a good start is probably the best advice you could give someone, because each one of these fruits, they require different things.
Right.
And so we're all excited. We're going through our catalogs, and we think, oh, blueberries, that would be a good thing. Let's order some. But there's some preparation we need to do first.
Yes, so really get to know your crop that you're growing. If you're new to gardening, I would probably lean you in the direction of some less labor-intensive type crops. You might want to start out with some small fruits. So things like strawberries or blueberries. Now, blueberries can be a little bit challenging just because of the pH level, but still, they're fairly pest-free for the most part. Or maybe some blackberries and raspberries, because those are really easy. They're a little bit easier for homeowners to manage because, they come into production a little sooner. They're not like tree fruits that take, 3, 4 to 5 years in order to reach production. So you may want to think about some small fruits. When I say know your crop, know what it likes and their needs. So with most crops, most fruit crops, you can grow them soil pH between 6 and 6.5. Now, if you don't know what your soil pH is, we would want you to come into the office. We offer soil testing services, so that way that you can kind of get a snapshot of what soil that you have and what's needed to reach that optimum production. Now, blueberries are a little bit different because they like soils acidic between 4.5 and 5.2. So you want to make sure that you take particularly care to apply what's needed to reach that level, because again, that root system of that crop really needs to have that proper nutrients available to it.
And most of the time our pH doesn't run that way naturally, so you're probably going to have to add some soil amendments to get it to that pH.
Right. And so it's really important to follow up with us, ask us how to do a soil test. It's the best money you'll ever spend. Again, we'll give you everything from lime fertilizer rates to get that optimum level. So make sure that you do that. Again, with knowing your crop, you want to site it correctly. So, if you think about tree fruits, you want to make sure that for orchards and things like that, that you go to an area, either the north or the east facing side. The reason we want to orient it that way is because those areas are a little slower to warm up, but then they don't tend to get some frost freeze damage. And so you would want to look to those areas. And then too, with orchards, you want to look for plenty of sunlight, and then also a slope will also help that water drain, and you won't have a lot of disease and insect issues later. Now, for a lot of the smaller fruits that we have here in Kentucky, again, you want to make sure you have properly well-drained soil. And so if that root system stays wet for a long period of time, it introduces a lot of issues. And so we want to try to stay away from some of those. So try not to look towards those areas. Again, make sure you look for plenty of sunlight, because it is a fruiting crop, and so it's going to need probably 8 hours of sunlight preferred.
So, Kristin, do you have information on how to grow each one of these fruits at the Extension office?
Yes, we do. So we have a fruit and nut cultivar production guide that also talks about the different cultivars that would grow good and where you can purchase those. Again, make sure you purchase good varieties.
All right, so on the way to successful small fruit in your own home and orchard. Appreciate the information, Kristin. If you have questions, make sure to contact us. Thanks for watching and have a great day. If you have questions about today's topic, please call the Warren County Extension office at the number on your screen. Thanks for watching and have a great day.